Yes, I work for
Quest Valeria Art Kingdoms. In the quest, you fight the dragon. You need to get all the citizens. Adam, how we get citizens to fight dragon? Get big guildmaster horde. We are going to go on adventures. We are going to fight women. We are going to marry orcs. It's going to be a blast in Quest of Valeria.
We're here again / still at the Mighty Meeple.
In Concord, North Carolina. We'll be putting up the address for this location. They're actually running a charity event right now. Is it the Dale Earnhardt charity?
Oh gosh,
It's for
it is
kids.
charities.
It is a charity. They're doing an hourly donation. It's pretty nice.
On International Tabletop Day.
Yeah, okay, so Quest of Valeria. 1 to 5 players, 14 plus, 45 minutes long. The media for this looks really similar to the other Valeria card kingdoms. And
The Valeria universe at this point.
The Valeria-verse. Okay, so Josh, walk us through this. What are we doing here?
How do you play?
Well, I mean...
I'll tell you how we play. All right, so what you're going to do is you're playing as your guild master, and you are gathering up citizens to complete quests, subterfuge quests, adventure quests, commerce quests, battle quests.
Those quests get you victory points.
Quest?
Nope.
Sea Quest?
That was
Nice.
a terrible film.
Johnny Quest.
Best quest.
All right, so...
Just kidding. Quest 64 is the best quest.
The first person to get 5 quests completed triggers the end of the game, and then at the end you count up your victory points, and of course whoever's got the most victory points is the winner.
Dude, I'm triggered.
So after we show you how a round of the game works, we're gonna give this a rating in our scores of ease of use, replay value, and overall fun. So let's get started with a little bit of the turn overview.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So you got your guild master. We're going to walk you through a round of how this works. You can draw a card, you can hire a person, you can reserve quests, or you can complete a quest. I'm going to walk you through the hiring of people and what these numbers 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3 actually mean. So your purchasing to hire people is based off of your hand. So let's say I start out with 3 cards, that's in the draw, and I picked up a few other cards. All right, I need to build up my guild. That's the whole point of this game. So I'm gonna hire some people out. It's my turn. You know what? I'm gonna hire out this rogue. Should I move the camera here?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so whatever's on the far left actually receives the benefit of being free to hire. Hire for hire. All right, so it's not gonna cost me any of those cards. And now I get my rogue, and he's added to my guild hall. As you noticed, there's nothing underneath the rogue that gives him a special ability. He's just worth some money, and he's worth some combat for completing the quests, and Josh is going to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So...
Oh, I wasn't done.
Oh, you're not done? Okay, by all means.
We rehearsed.
Continue.
I'm going to go ahead and show you now the second thing that you can do when you're hiring. I have... this guy, he's a mage. He's in my hand, but he's not in the list. I want to hire him from my hand. I can do that by spending 2 cards from my hand. I'm just grabbing 2 cards, toss this in the discard, and now I get to add the mage to my guild. Bang! Now I got a pretty good set for magic and coins. I got a good variety here. I think I'm ready to go complete some quests now. All right, now that's the segue for Josh to talk about quests.
All right, so earlier in the game, I reserved a commerce quest, and the reason I want to get the commerce quest is because my guild master is secretly good at commerce and subterfuge. And you got that little yellow commerce, subterfuge looks black right there, and then you've got battle and adventure. Well, my requirements are right here. This is what I need in order to be able to complete the quest. I need a hammer, a holy person, 3 gold, 3 magic. I've got my hammer right here, got my holy person, and then I've got extra gold right there, and then extra magic right there to complete this quest. I turn all those cards in, they just get discarded, but now I get 4 victory points and I get to draw 2 more cards into my hand. So I take those, and now those are in my hand, not in my guild just yet. And this is completed. And I keep this to keep track of how many quests I've completed. Once I get 5, that triggers the end of the game. And
triggering.
And then after that, I can reserve another quest, so I'm going to reserve the subterfuge one. So Adam, what would you do on your turn?
Well, for my turn, I already have a priestess and a blacksmith out on the table. I would go ahead and I want the baker for that sweet, sweet coin that she makes. So I'm going to give up a
Did you say she makes a lot of dough? No, I'm serious. Is that a lucrative business being a baker?
It's pretty nice, yeah. You know, people come in, they want a croissant.
It's making me hungry. Keep going.
I am going to take my baker, and now, because she has the H symbol, it means I can hire an extra person without having to use a turn. So I'm going to spend my squire.
Filthy
to
squire.
hire the voter.
Bogatire.
So you still have to pay the hiring cost to get that person.
I do. Yes.
You just don't have to use an action.
It is not action oriented. I have 1 remaining action with which I can go ahead and complete a quest. I can complete 1 of 2 quests because I have a fighter with magic and battle.
Strength.
I have more
battle.
strength. Battle. We can go either way.
His fight power is infinite.
His fight power. So I can complete this quest if I wanted to, or I could complete the sweet battle quest over here because I have enough money on my team. So I'm going to go ahead and complete that because it gives me a higher victory point count.
Now you can complete those if you've got the quest in reserve.
You can complete
Yes.
them. You have to have it in reserve.
Oh, you do. I believe you do have to have it in
Pick
reserve.
up the quest first,
Yeah.
and
Then
then
I
put it
wouldn't
down.
complete the quest just like that.
But
Right.
you could
I
if you
could
had
reserve.
used your first action to
reserve
reserve it. When you played that Bogatire,
I
it
would
lets
be
you
able to,
complete the
yes.
quest, and that's a great thing about this game is you can chain
Oh,
those
yeah.
abilities at the bottom.
Again,
Absolutely.
we
Draw
reverse
extra, hire another person that lets you draw more cards, lets you complete quests. It's fantastic when you get a good chain and you can just clear the board.
I've seen people chain several cards and
That was me. That's who you saw. I did that.
It was not him. It was some other people that I played
I'm
with.
the only person he plays this with.
So guys, are you guys ready to rate this in our categories: easy use, replay value, and overall fun?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this.
Jinx, you owe me a Stevia Coke.
So for ease of use, we gave Quests of Valeria a 7 out of 10. The guidebook, the instruction book, is pretty easy to use. It's got lots of pictures, which is nice for Topher because he doesn't read very well, making it very easy to follow through. The only thing that really gave us any trouble was when it comes to the actual icons on the cards. It's sort of troublesome to remember, okay, this card you have to discard in order to get this, that, and the other. But each of the individual characters has a description in the quest book. So it's overall pretty simple. 7 out of 10.
Replay value for Quests of Valeria, we give it a 6 out of 10. This is kind of like a smaller version of Valeria Card Kingdoms, which is an amazing game, and so what they've done here is they've created a smaller game from their larger one. And so naturally it just can't have that much of a replay value as the original. And the reason we do give it a 6 is it does have a 1-player mode. It's 1 to 5 players. And I think it's better as a 2-player game than Villages of Valeria was. And we did Villages of Valeria a couple weeks ago. And other than that, you've got a similar aspect of Valeria Card Kingdoms in that you're collecting these citizens in order to be able to go on quests. The only difference here is that in order to complete those quests, you have to expend your citizens. and so that's why we give it a 6 out of 10.
So for overall fun, we gave Quest of Valeria 6 out of 10. It might sound low because Valeria Card Kingdoms was so high, but 6 out of 10 we believe is very fair. Here's the breakdown. As Josh said, a lot from Valeria Card Kingdoms translates over to this game, but there are major aspects to Valeria Card Kingdoms that were removed to make Quests of Valeria. And it's kind of like the economy system of gathering your mana, gathering your attack power, and gathering your money. There was also the combative nature of Valeria Card Kingdoms. Additionally, it is the idea of having something to do when it's not your turn. That's a great thing that Valeria Card Kingdoms had that Quests of Valeria doesn't have. Now, to be fair, the rounds are very quick in Quests of Valeria. Also, small form factor. Hey, it can travel. That actually adds to the amusement for me anyway, because I like a small game that can travel. So overall fun, I'm going to enjoy it. But the thing is, when I'm given the option to play Quests of Valeria versus traditional Valeria Card Kingdoms, the related expansions, I'm going to choose Valeria Card Kingdoms because it is a more in-depth game. You do get the quests. There's some fun flavor text on these things. You get the different types of quests, subterfuge, commerce. It does stretch your brain a little bit about who you want to gather. You have a little bit of flexibility when you're playing the different guild masters as well. But overall, there are just not as many options in Quests of Valeria that were to give you optional victory points. I remember things like, I think it was called the Dragon's Gate. Every time someone rolled double of the two of the same type of die, then you got victory points based off of that. It was a neat novelty that really actually gave a lot of flavor and a lot of character to the game itself. Quests of Valeria, it's a much shorter game, it's a much smaller game, and I just can't give it a much higher score than 6 out of 10. Overall though, it's still pretty good, 6 out of 10. Quests of Valeria, what did you think?
I don't think it's that bad of a game. It's more casual than Villages, and it's just a smaller version of it. So we can't give it as good of a score.
Okay, that's the thing that was bugging me. Like, so Villages of Valeria was a worker placement. Valeria Card Kingdoms is not a worker placement per se,
but it's tableau building.
It is tableau building. I don't know what to call it. It's
basically this, but in a larger format.
This is, in a way, tableau building. It's card drafting. I think card drafting may be the best way to put it. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad game. It's going to be average. It's going to be kind of floating along with a lot of the other games out there.
Yeah, you know, we've spent a lot of time in Valeria now, and I enjoy spending time in that universe, even if it's just a smaller game like this one.
They don't have a sales tax, and they got duty-free shops everywhere.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed our video, like and subscribe. If you disagree with our scores, make sure you comment below. Tell us what you would give this game.
Even though you're wrong.
Be sure and like and subscribe.
You already said that.
Facebook is a place where things are happening. I think we might be up on the tweet spot, and hit us up on the Instagram and the Snapchat.
We don't have either of those.
Hit us up there anyway.
No.
I'm sure you can find somebody who's got the name Fail Road Express on there. There are a lot of people in the world.
All right, and then we got some links. We got links to other videos. I'm not sure how YouTube works now.
Happy International Tabletop Day.
We've got buttons at the end of this video that lead to our other videos, so make sure you give those a check.
Yes, Adam, and happy International Tabletop Game Day to
Nobody
you
likes repeats.
And you and you.
This has been the Fail Road Express,
you.
coming to you from the Mighty Meeple in Concord, North Carolina. Replay value for Quests of Valeria.
I got a lot of good ideas.
We gave it
I come up with most of those little scenarios that we do at the very beginning.
I wish I knew how to throw cards like to where they stick into people's flesh. Can I go on now? Can I?
You always could.